How's it going, Armstrong County? Welcome back to the Greatest City in the World podcast. I have another commissioner interview for you today. I think this is the fourth one that I've done in this election season. And so today I have Bob Bellis with me. Great to see you. And I think we maybe met once before or something like that, but I've never gotten to sit down and talk to you like this.
No.
I'm very excited to do that, get to know you. And if you guys want to check out any of the other interviews, over the past couple weeks, I've been doing a couple of school board candidates, a couple of commissioner candidates, and the whole goal is just to get you guys to be as informed as possible when you make your choice, which is coming up next Tuesday. So
Yep, it's coming Tuesday.
getting very close. So I'm going to give the floor to you. So Bob, tell us who you are, how'd you come to this point, and like what makes you want to do something as crazy as this?
Yeah, like I said, my name's Bob Bellis. Currently, I am a funeral director with the Snyder Chrisman Funeral Home in Kittanning. I'm a lifelong resident of Armstrong County, born and raised. 1996 graduate of Kittanning High School. After high school, I decided I wasn't going to go to college right away, and I worked at Specialty Tires in Indiana for a little bit before becoming a tree trimmer with Asplin Tree Service. One day I came home from work, and my wife said if I want to go back to school, do it before we have kids. So she picked up a second job, and I went to mortuary school, where I got my funeral director's license, my embalmer license, and a bachelor's degree from Point Park University in business management.
Wow. That's quite a shift.
It is.
Yeah, you tires to trees to funeral director.
Yes.
Wow, pretty
Crazy.
wild. Yeah.
It is crazy.
Go
But
ahead.
I am married for 22 years to Jennifer Hartman Bellis. She's originally from Worthington before moving into Kittanning. We have 3 children, a sophomore at West Shamokin, a 7th grader at Armstrong, and a 4th grader at West Hills. So we have all the local right here school districts kind of covered.
Nice.
I mean, it's all Armstrong, but all the schools, I guess.
Yep.
One of my other jobs, I am part-time employee of Armstrong County. I am the chief deputy coroner. And that it would be probably my main reason for doing this. If you had asked me 5 months ago what I'm going to say when I'm sitting down talking to Andrew in an interview about running for commissioner, I would have said you were crazy.
Yeah.
But my main goal for this is the extreme lack of communication within our county itself. I don't know how many people know this, but you can talk to almost any former or current employee. There's no communication between the higher-ups and all the other offices and elected officials. It's almost micromanaging. I feel like it's imploding from within. And I feel that's where this has to start. To get our county back going in the right direction, we need to fix it internally.
Okay.
But there is no communication between department heads and the current board. So
That's really interesting. So did you how did that come to light? Was it when you were as deputy coroner, like you're doing your job there, or was it like other things, or just confluence of multiple?
yeah, I mean that's where firsthand I've seen it was in the coroner's office itself. Being not me, Brian Myers, the coroner, he was being told, through emails or other people what he had to do and how he was going to do things, and it just doesn't work that way. I mean, there's certain things you have to be able to do.
Yeah.
And then once I realized that internally and started hearing, and then I realized, there's almost 40 open positions in the county.
Oh wow.
So that's, one thing I want to make clear is I'm not looking to add county jobs. I just want to get all the open positions filled so that we can move forward,
Yeah.
effectively.
Yeah, that is something that's really interesting. Because that's the first time hearing that, but I believe it because I know that there's a couple things that seem like essential services that I've called lately and are like, yeah, we're not doing that right now because we don't have a person for it. Are there any of those things that stick out to you as like, wow, that's one thing that is really missing right now?
Almost every office up there has an opening.
Okay.
And like I said, I just feel that we're not running effectively. Everything's being postponed due to lack of employment. The jail, I mean, I had somebody make a comment to me that it's just Armstrong County. It's mostly just minor drug offenses and drunk driving. But my thoughts are, if you do the crime, you should do the punishment. But they are so understaffed and overworked over there. They're on mandatory overtime shifts like 3 or 4 days in a row. And to me, I think that's extremely dangerous.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well, I'm sure we'll get into more of that later.
yes.
I just had to get that off my head right at the beginning. But so I'm assuming that's kind of what's driving you to do all this. You're seeing the inefficiency, and you're like, hey, someone needs to be doing this.
Yes, I see that inefficiency, and I feel that to move forward, to have more businesses come in, to have more residents move in Armstrong County, it starts here. How can you have a business move here or people move here if nobody wants to work here, internally?
Yeah.
So I think that has to be fixed. It's kind of like a fix it from within.
Yep. Okay. Makes sense. So I try to normally start positive. Maybe we kind of went negative already.
That's fine.
But that's all right. So tell me, what do you love about Armstrong County? I mean, what makes you care about it?
Like I said, I've been here my whole life. It is great. It's close to the city if you want to do big city things, but it's royal. The school, it's small enough that you know almost everybody within your community. It's one of those everybody. And I like that feel. But if you want to have that big city experience, you're 40 minutes from Pittsburgh. You go to Pittsburgh and you
Yeah.
can do about anything there. So I mean, it's just you can go anywhere.
Get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I just told people that I was like, hey, I'm 40 minutes, I'm in downtown Pittsburgh, and 40 minutes, I'm in complete wilderness if I want to be. So, it's pretty awesome to be right in between. Any favorite things to do, places to visit in Armstrong County?
I love the folk festival. We do make that every year. We used to be every year to the Dayton Fair. You got to go up and walk through the barns, no matter how bad they smell. But with our kids involved in almost every activity, that one actually has taken a little bit of a step back, with all travel softballs and baseballs.
Yeah.
But there's so much fun. In my younger days, we used to jet ski on the river, stuff like that. That has long since passed too. But,
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things you can do.
Yeah. Any favorite places to eat?
Well, you gotta love the Villa and Gardas. Everybody always asks what your favorite is. They both rank right up there.
Yeah, totally agree.
We were at Ryan's Creek House the other day. It was really good.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So,
No one's mentioned that one yet, but Ryan's Creek House.
Yeah, and that was the first we've been there in a while, maybe close to a year. We went, and it was really good.
Yeah, big fan of Ryan and big fan of that place. Had a couple of really great meals there. Okay, well, sorry, I got to do some light stuff,
No, you're fine.
So let's dig into the problems. Problems and opportunities. You said one already, obviously the staffing. I'm assuming that's not that's not the fullness of what you're thinking, but what other things would you want to focus on as a county commissioner if you're elected?
Like I said, fix it internally. We gotta bring the businesses in, and there's opportunities. North Point is wonderful. There's and there are some things coming in down there. But, we have 2866 that runs to Brookfield to Interstate 80. I don't know why we can't figure out something up that way even, South Bethlehem, distant area. It's there. I mean, you're not going to build a huge factory up there, but if something presents itself, you need to market that because, that is another area that surely you can put something in. We have, again, the 40 minutes to Pittsburgh, 40 minutes you're in Brookfield on 80, as far as shipping.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. But you got to bring the business in to bring the tax base in to get the new residents. And it has to be affordable.
Yeah.
I know there's a housing plan supposedly down around Slate Lick, but I've also heard that they're going to average like $390,000.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And if that's true, I just think most people in Armstrong County can't afford that.
Yeah.
I thought I saw a study that our average income's like $38,000 or something. So we got to, I'm not saying build a bunch of row houses, but if we're going to bring in some plans and stuff, we have to have affordable ones, and that'll get our tax base built up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, new housing has to be a priority.
Yeah.
And you look at all the housing plans that happen just across our border in Indiana County,
Yes.
Butler County, and then Allegheny, obviously.
And I know
still
people
top.
come to Armstrong because it's royal and they don't want a bunch of people, and you don't have to ruin that.
Yeah.
But there's definitely ways you can bring in some new housing and bring in some people. And speaking of housing, help these municipalities like Kittanning and Leechburg, whatever, that have some of these old rundown, fallen in buildings, figure out ways to get them eyesores tore down.
Yeah.
That would be.
One thing I'll ask you too is, it just came to my mind. I'm assuming you've been traveling around doing a lot of different campaign stuff. This is your first time ever running.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Has it been kind of eye opening? Like, what are people telling you in your conversations with them about, like, what problems they perceive for the area?
Everybody wants more business.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. And my main platform with the lack of communication and stuff in the county, that word has gotten out, and there's people that are calling with questions, concerns, not getting any response back. And again, that's not just internally, that's people outside. I've one business, the gentleman asked a question, he was told he would get help, he never got it, and I think he told me he was at 15 different phone calls and emails that were still unreturned to him.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
So again, that isn't just internal, that is reaching the public. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's maybe dig a little more into those, with the staffing and fix internally. Like, is there any specifics that you've kind of thought about? Day one, you're in the office. Like, how would you go about fixing that?
you got to set up meetings with the department heads and other elected officials. If it's once a month, even if it's just for 5 minutes, you have to visit everybody and say, all right, what do you need? How's things going? And if everything's fine, that's great. Then you move on. And then if there is a need, I'm not saying we just give them everything we want. I would be one of 3 if elected. We would see what they want, stay in communication with them, and try to figure out a fiscal way to make it work. Maybe it's not exactly what they want, but it's something that would work. And you are trying to save money. Like, I'm not getting in there saying we have to spend all this money. You have to just be in communication. And so that would be how I would fix it, was monthly meetings, like I said, even if it's just 5 minutes.
Yeah. And I wonder if some of those positions aren't being filled because they're trying to, like you said, be budget conscious, those kinds of things. But if that's the case, then it's not being communicated, then that doesn't help anybody. So again, like you said, it's like communication and doing all those kinds of things.
And I feel like a lot of people that had all the knowledge have retired, and so, yes, they made more money, but I think the starting wages are like maybe too low to bring, it's just not enticing anybody.
Yeah. I guess I hadn't really thought about that, but I know, like, the development office, I know they've been telling me they're short staffed,
Yeah.
and I believe them. But I was like, okay, well, why are they short? Well, maybe it's because they're not.
And that's another one. Like, grants are vital. That's what keeps counties going.
Yeah.
That's an office if you have to maybe overstaff a little bit, just because there's so many grants out there. Would you get them all? No, but I'm a big believer in, if it's there and it's offered to you, at least apply for it.
Yeah. And if a person gets one good grant, it probably pays their salary for a couple of years, and justifies having that person. So, very interesting. Yeah, because I've been hearing those things, but I never kind of made the connection of, like, oh, maybe they're just not posting a job or not filling the position on purpose instead of, okay. Very interesting. So let's go back to business now. You said a little bit about North Point. You said the 2866 corridor. Do you have any other thoughts on how to bring more business, more jobs into the county, or ideas that you have or that you've been mulling over?
I've been, now, like I said, this is my first foray into politics.
Yeah.
But you just got to keep promoting the areas you have available, like North Point and all that. Just keep promoting those. And our existing businesses, I feel if we keep promoting them, it might catch the eye of another business and say, well, look, they're thriving here. Let's see what's available. So again, it just benefits everybody. So our small businesses, our bigger businesses, you just got to keep promoting and just have your foot on the gas the whole time, trying to see what's out there, who's looking, and just go for it.
Yeah. Another question that just popped into my mind, because you probably have some insight as deputy coroner. If you're like we care a lot about, and we were working a lot about at the church. This is more maybe more of a personal issue for me, but I know it is for a lot of other people as well. Opioid deaths and those kinds of things. Have you? We've been. I haven't seen numbers for like what that looks like, but I've heard big spike in 2020, and it's kind of stayed there. Are you guys seeing
Yeah,
that?
I mean, we're. I don't think Brian will be upset that I said this. Right now, so far in 2023, I mean, we're only 5 months in. Um, we've actually had more suicides than overdose deaths.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's a little concerning.
Yeah.
The mental health side of things. But yeah, we had some years that were pretty bad. I mean, we were getting 3 a day there.
Yeah.
That might have been 2019, 2020. But it has leveled off a little bit. But yeah, I've seen it firsthand, the devastation through the coroner's office and with the funeral home. I mean, there's
Right.
times we deal the whole way through. And yeah, it definitely needs attention. And I know there's people that are fighting it hard, and I don't know what else we can do different, but I would definitely make sure that stuff stays.
Yeah.
We have to keep fighting that.
Yeah, because if you think, well, an overdose death or a suicide, I know they kind of lump them all in. A lot of the studies call them deaths of despair because they all
Yeah.
come from the same mental health issues, those kinds of things. People trying to kill the pain, do whatever they can to escape, so to speak. So,
And the drug thing affects everybody.
yeah,
It's not, there's some people think it's just like a poor thing, but it's we've been, in houses that probably weren't livable to houses that classify almost as mansions. We've been everywhere, so it does affect every income, every Keller.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's bad.
So, do you have any thoughts on that? Like how to? I know you said to keep things going. I'm assuming you're talking about sheriff's office, all that.
Yeah,
of
the
things,
drug task force and stuff. You just got to keep them funded, making sure there's programs out there that are available, and again, promotion. Just keep promoting. Say, hey, it's here.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
So I know you're running. I believe you're on the Democrat ticket.
I am.
There's three candidates
Yes.
on that side right now, and two will make it through into the general election. So you guys can be looking out for Bob. And
I am the third one.
you're the third one on the
Yes.
on the list. Okay.
I was the first one to get to pull the ball, and I pulled the highest number, so I'm the last one on the list.
Okay.
So.
Well, you should have been first if you drew first. But
I know,
guess,
but that's just
whatever. Okay.
that's my luck.
Well, that's fair. So give me like your overall vision for the county. What would it look like in 10 years? Say you're commissioner, you get 2-3 terms, everything goes the way that you're planning that it would go. How would Armstrong County be different 10 years from now than it is today because you were there?
I hear people say, can we make it like the next Cranberry or Wexford? It's not going to happen. But I would settle for like a Sarver area that seems to be building up.
Sure.
That would be the ultimate goal. And something that's dear to my heart that I forgot to mention but falls into this is I'm a lifelong volunteer fireman for Rayburn Township. I mean, and by lifelong, I've been there since birth.
Yeah.
I technically haven't been a member since I was 16 because that was the age back then, but I have been a member. So I want to not fund because we can't afford to fund every volunteer fire department, but I want to figure out ways to try to do like membership drives countywide because every department needs volunteers, not just fire. EMS, EMTs and paramedics are dwindling.
Yep.
The police force. So if we could figure out some type of first responder things to do to try to get people interested, this would be all volunteer. I'd like to see the departments get built back up. You as an insurance agent probably know volunteer fire departments save money as far as I'm told.
We're a big fan of fire departments for sure.
So that would be the other thing. I'd like to see all the departments in the county, all the EMS agencies back up to full staff. And but yeah, like I said, I don't think Wexford's doable or Cranberry, but I could see Armstrong County being like a Sarver.
Yep.
With their rural areas, but still having the businesses, the people,
Yeah.
the restaurants.
That area of Butler County is, there's a lot of business that has been attracted there, and then all the houses built up around it. So that'd be awesome if we had that here and kind of keep the beauty, the rural nature of our county, but at the same time continue to expand and grow and make it better for everybody.
figure out how we can get back out on the river. Like you notice the boat traffic just ain't like it used to be.
Right.
I would be willing to. Like I said, I've been out of that world for a while. I mean, we had boats when I'm talking like young, couldn't even drive.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. So let me give you just a couple minutes, make your pitch. What makes you the right person to make all this stuff happen?
like I said, I am not a politician. I'm more of a public servant, and I just feel that it needs to start from within. So open up the lines of communication with all the other elected officials and department heads, and then move forward. I'm running as a Democrat. If two Democrats get in and one Republican, I'm not going to vote with the other Democrat just because he's the same party as me.
Right.
If I'm the only Democrat and there's two Republicans, I'm not going to say yes to what they want just to keep them happy. I'm going to vote with my heart for what I feel is best. And if it passes, it passes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not running a popularity contest here. Like, I didn't just throw signs everywhere along the road. I only put them where people wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
I have some endorsements. They came to me. I didn't go after them. Because, like I said, this is just the time that you have to vote for the best person. If sometimes you don't vote for your friend because, yes, they're your friend, but you have to look at what they do professionally and see, is that the right choice?
Yeah.
So I'm running this that's how I'm doing it. I'm just going straight forward.
Yeah. I really appreciate the candor and your heart, and I think you have an interesting perspective too, because it's different than the other candidates that I've talked to, both in the past and today. Kind of talking about, hey, you got to make the efficiency happen in the county first, and then focus on the other things. Because if that's not running, then nothing else is going to go.
And maybe my opinion's wrong, but I like you said, if it's not running there or it's not running smoothly, then people are going to pick up on that. Like outside people, business owners that want to expand, or they're going to pick up on that and say, wait a minute.
Yeah.
They're not getting along. This is going to be hard to do. And they're going to go somewhere else. They're going to go to the Butler County or Indiana County. So this is, in my opinion, where it starts. We got to fix it here.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I've really appreciated the conversation. If someone out there wants to, number one, support you, your candidacy, wants to learn more about you, wants to ask you a last-minute question between now and Tuesday, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you and support you?
New to the Facebook world. Never had a Facebook account until I announced my candidacy.
Okay.
But it's Friends to Elect Bellis on Facebook. If you send a message, I will get back to you. I've been answering the questions as they've been coming to me. And if I'm privately, I'll give you my cell phone number.
Okay.
I'll come to you and meet you face to face, or I can talk to you, or I can just respond to your message. But
okay, sounds
I'm an
great.
open book.
So I'll have that link in the description, and I think that's all that I have. I really appreciate you coming and talking, and like I said, I appreciate your heart and your unique perspective, because that's I'm learning some new stuff today just talking to you. So, and I think that's valuable. Hopefully, all of you found it valuable. If you want to support our friend here, make sure the third one on the line.
Yep, under Democrat, third one.
Next Tuesday.
Yep.
All right. Very cool. And hopefully, if you get through and you want to have more conversations leading up to the general,
Definitely.
You have other things that you want to communicate, I'd be more than happy to talk with you in the future.
All right, definitely. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. We'll see all of you in the next one.